or I'm like, hey, you reckon you can take one of these books of bag of books that we found here?
I walk over and I kind of tug on it, and it's incredibly heavy
Yep.
by my standards
There was about
anyway.
50 odd books that I found in total, so it's going to be quite a payday if we manage to get this stuff back.
That's the if.
Yeah.
Uh, but is there? So I look around the room. Is there anything else in the room of
So
interest?
the empty bookshelf, the two overstuffed chairs, and then the flaming book in the fireplace.
Okay, I
As
want to do
long as
something
with the
odd. I want to
skeleton
walk
things.
over to the empty bookshelf and see is there anything behind it.
Ah, there we go. You move the bookshelf aside. There is a passageway that has been carved out of the stone.
How did you do that, young brother?
Hey, you never know, friend. These things happen often, brother.
It appears to be natural. There are roots coming down from the ceiling. A rat scutters by. It's only about
Yeah.
it's only about 5 feet, it's only about 3 feet wide, so it's going to be a tight squeeze.
Just out of character, real quick. There was a second door at the start, right? That we didn't go through, or hallway?
No, it's basically just been straight shot.
Okay, so you mentioned there was two doors at the start, though. One was like open and one was like closed.
They led into the
It
same
was a double
hallway.
door, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure, no worries. I get you now. Cool.
Um, yeah. How far does it look like it goes?
In fact, you see it go about 50 feet, and then you see sunlight. Kind of dim sunlight, but sunlight nonetheless.
Oh man, I don't. I think I would. I'm gonna look back at the books that are laying on the ground and uh, say perhaps we should be paid for this before we explore any further.
I agree. It's we can always come back here. We know where it is.
Well, yeah, this is true.
So the hole that he exposed that goes out, right? Out into
As
sunlight.
far as you can tell, it goes about 50 feet down, and then there's sunlight coming from further down.
Tell you what, I'm going to signal to him to just stay here for a second, and I'm going to try to move silently to the end of the
All right, let's
end
try.
of the hall just to scout it out and see.
So I want to start inspecting the books while he's doing that. Did you leave your book as well, or your chest in the room?
The chest probably. I don't know. What did you? Do you leave all your stuff, or just?
Yeah, I'll leave my backpack, but I'm taking my everything else.
You taking the chest with you?
The chest is in the backpack.
Okay. Well, if it's in the backpack,
It-
I wouldn't know about it then, so it's all good.
Yeah.
So I just sort of inspect the books then at that point.
Okay. I'll list some books for you if you want.
Sure.
Here's my moves silently.
Yep, you make it all the way you make it through the end. Kind of when you move by, dirt falls from into your hair. You get to the end and kind of move apart like a bush and like a branch of a tree, and you've made it to the other side of the hill. You emerge.
Is there? Do I see anything? Like, where am I? Where do I emerge into?
Yeah, you see kind of this rocky cliff that you've come about on. There are rocks strewn about the hillside, and then it's just trees as far as you can see past that in this direction, south.
But there's nothing to note aside from the fact that it's a.
These are book titles. Keep going.
Okay. Random. There's nothing of note aside from just the fact that it's open.
There appears to be
and
some
big.
kind of secondary exit or escape route. You think actually perhaps this other corpse with the chest was trying to escape this direction. That's why he was facing that way.
Okay. I guess then I make my way back and I suggest we get the hell out.
Okay.
All right. Is there any
When
particular?
I walk back in, do I just see him like reading like the books?
I'm just sort of like looking at the covers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any particular book like that stood out in terms of like condition or like
Or quality?
quality or build or something like that?
No, it's pretty all even. They seem to be all different authors. with like strange names, like names you've of people things you never heard of, like Acrisius or
Mm,
one word names that are very mysterious.
sure. I, how long did he take to do all this?
Not very long, minute.
Okay. I just want to crack one of the books open just randomly, and I want to sort of like investigate the first page. Can I read what's on there?
Sure, give me one sec.
Just to be as annoying as possible to the DM.
No, I just want to know if I can.
Found?
If
Write
it-
me a book, DM.
No. If I
Chop,
can,
chop.
if I can actually read the text in it, it's different from like not being able to read it at all.
Oh, okay.
Can you read it? Yes, it is written in Beach Cresting, if that's what you're worried about.
Yeah, and is it like written in such a higher?
Intelligence strata, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So
You can read some of the words, but there's some there's diagrams you don't understand.
Yeah.
Maths and all that.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess I want to try and find a book to keep separate from the other books.
Yeah, you want me to keep going? I can keep writing them.
Oh yeah. Oh well, anything that you feel would be most like the cover of the novel, like the title of the book or anything like that, that would stand out most to me as a character.
Yeah, I don't think any of them would stand out particularly.
All right.
They're all like that.
Okay. In the instance of me trying to learn a higher vocabulary,
Maybe perhaps the book that just says references.
yeah. All right. Oh, maybe I'll just sort of put that into my
here's a book,
backpack.
maybe an introduction text.
Yeah, or something that can help me understand things more. Something that I can study. You know, because these books are fine. I can read them, but I won't understand them. So, like, I want to try and find something to sort of help with that. Basic string theory. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. This might be more.
It's actually just a book about strings and how to make strings.
Maybe that might be what you're looking for.
Historical origins in physics.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll grab that one and I'll put that in my bag as a separate.
Okay.
Just all right. I'll just copy this.
I am.
How big is this book, by the way? What's the size of it?
They're all about 1 pound. These books are about normal. Do you guys have any indie books? Do you guys know like the RPG book size? It's like that size.
Okay.
Okay, so it's more of a. Would you describe it as a tome, or
Tome,
or a book?
Typically, yeah. It's not like a novel size or digest size. It's like magazine size.
Okay, all right then, that's fine. I'll grab that book. Yeah.
I guess I shoulder one of the sacks of books.
I like as Oral comes back, I'm like, can we leave by that way? I mean, we got a giant hole we got to get past in the middle, so it might be easier to just sort of squeeze out there.
I shake my head. I'm like, I don't think so.
Okay.
It leads to a cliff. I'm not really sure.
Is it okay? How big were the tables in the previous room?
The tables in the previous room, 5x3.
Could I use a table to make a plank, a walkway, or something over this hole?
If we start shoving desks into the hole, that'll probably work.
How much?
I mean, could we just throw the burlap sack across the hole?
There's no way you'd be able to throw that far.
Certainly try.
It's 35 pounds. That's not exactly a hard toss.
Yeah, but they're not secured within the sap. So the moment we throw it, it'd go
probably just
everywhere.
rip to pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like your idea. Actually, I'm going to take the bookshelf.
Oh.
How heavy is the bookshelf?
We could probably
Not
drag it.
particularly heavy.
Yeah. We could probably drag
Oh,
it
well-
together pretty simply as
Yeah,
well.
maybe
So,
take it together.
yeah, we'll
let's
do
do
that.
that.
We'll try and like make some sort of like a gangplank or something across this hole that we previously went through.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll start with the tables in the room with the first group of dead people, and then if it doesn't look like we're going to make it, then we'll grab some others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. You shove the desks in there, maybe two, and then lay the bookshelf across.
Yeah.
You got it. Done.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right.
Then
And
I guess we grab our pack of books and we book it.
oh shit! I like laughing like. Oral. You always had a way with those words of yours. And
Right. So you make your way back. What happens when you get back to the crack?
Well, I guess I'll jump up on the tapestry that Oral put down there first, and then I'll be like, okay, lift it up to me. I'll pull it out.
Yeah, I guess I lift up the 2 sacks of books to him.
Yep.
Okay.
And I sort of
But
lever them out.
I'll warn him. I'll like, don't. There's liquid up there. Don't touch it.
Yeah, I know, it's
Something's
wet.
up with that.
Don't touch. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, it's wet.
Uh,
Wet's bad.
so I like grab him out. I'll try and stay on the tapestry as he instructed for the most part.
Yep.
So.
Okay. You guys can easily do that. You are able to get the books to the clearing.
Cool. And I guess we just try and make our way back to the horses at that point.
Okay.
We'll do the same thing again. We'll go through the outskirts. Maybe not like 2 trees deep, but just sort of like around the outside of the clearing.
All right. And what about when we get to these 2 large rocks that create this small crack?
You said there was a higher path, correct?
There's a higher path. Yes. Maybe you think that beforehand and make your way. Yep.
Yeah, I think because there's no way we're gonna like squeeze through that.
No.
With a giant, unruly burlap sack of lumpy books.
Before we leave the clearing, by the way, I want to mark down a rough estimate as to where I think this tower is, and mark down the clearing, and sort of just try and do that as best I can.
Yeah. You think it's at the edge of that red area,
Like the very bottom?
southernmost edge? Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I marked that down on the map. A little, like I actually physically mark it down somehow. I don't have any writing utensils, so I'm not sure how to actually do that.
Just drip some wax on it from our crappy.
You
Yeah.
do bet.
Yeah, I'll just like maybe get a stick or something and sort of poke the hole in the map or something like that and say,
Okay.
yeah, and then maybe get a little bit of dirt and sort of draw a circle around it with the dirt. I don't know. I'll try my best to sort of mark it so that we can make a more permanent mark later.
I suppose we would have put the torch out at some point.
Yep. Perhaps.
We probably just would have threw it back into the room there, into the pile of water, or whatever, you know.
Yeah, in the water. That
Yeah.
makes more sense.
Okay. Done.
Yep, and then I guess we try and climb over the gaps rather than go through the inside.
Well, maybe you take the high road around the other side. That's
Yeah.
fine. There we go.
Yeah, okay.
And you make it back to your horses.
The
do you
horse is
think?
still there.
The horses are still there.
What time of day is it, by the way?
Getting close to sundown.
Okay, well,
Well, I
it's
guess-
only an hour.
Yeah, getting close to sundown.
It's only an hour back to or 3 hours back to the thing. I think we can just make it back in one go. What do you think,
we gotta
Oral?
go past. Yeah, we have to go past those orcs if they're still there.
I don't see a problem with that. I mean, they didn't harm us before.
Yeah, but we didn't have random bags full of possibly valuable stuff then either.
Or when they open it and find books, I'm sure they'll be happy to take them. I like sort of just give like a shit-eating grin to Oral.
Piece of shit. I'm more worried about the opening of the books after they've opened our skulls.
I actually looked through the books, good brother, and I can tell you what, if they can understand those books, I would like to talk to them.
All right, I get on the damn horse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Preserve it from stepping on my feet.
Maybe you toss the books over.
Yeah, we walk them out and toss the books over the back, the rump of the horse, I guess you'd call it.
Okay.
And we sort of walk them out of the forest at that point, I guess, the same way we did when we came in the first time.
Well, do you mount up?
When we get out of the forest, yeah, I would imagine.
Okay. You do it.
All right, cool. And then we start making our way back. Again,
All right,
bopping
nice.
along the road.
Not 20 minutes after you leave the area where you entered, you round a corner and you see a kind of lone tree that's sitting on the right side of the road, and leaning against the tree is a small prone form, maybe a small person, maybe a child or a halfling, some small figure.
Okay. And that's across the road from where we're mounting the horses?
No, that's about 20 minutes down the road, back towards Boswell's house.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't have any reason to like interact with him, so I keep moving.
Okay.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, when you move back, seems to be a small Beach Christian boy sleeping.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not interested in any way.
Yeah, we just keep going.
Or I'm taking note of it. That isn't.
It's not
None of my
unusual to
concern.
see just like kids running around doing whatever they want, right?
I don't know. It's two days away. Well, no, Beast Crest isn't. Yeah, it's more like it's very unusual, and thusly I don't want any part in it.
Mm-hmm.
At least to me, anyway.
I tell you,
Random unattended child on the road. Fuck that. Let's keep going.
I sort of look over at Oral and like, maybe we can come back after we've dropped off the what Boswell wanted.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. So I sort of like, I want to sort of like stop and just take a look at the child from a distance. Is there anything out of the ordinary with him, or is he just sleeping? Like, is he visibly sleeping, or is he like hurt, or like?
You're not sure. He's visibly still.
Is he propped up against, like, what does he look like? Is he propped up against the tree, like, sort of like with his arms crossed? Is he like sitting there? Like, what's he doing?
Yeah, his arms are crossed, but his hands aren't grasping his arms. His hands are kind of just, kind of leaning against his sides, and his head is kind of propped up on a root.
Okay, we're just gonna keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be. I turn back to Oral and I'm like, I certainly wouldn't want to be woken up if I was sleeping. So
I just nod. I don't think he's sleeping at all, but I'm just nodding. Yeah, that's good. Sleep's a good thing. You should. You need it when you're young. You're still growing.
you never did much of that, did you, Oral? And I like sort of elbow him, and like, yeah, and we'll just keep making our way down to.
How tall are our characters?
I'm a little bit taller than you.
6'1", 6'2", something like that.
Yeah, but I'm like,
Okay.
but I'm like significantly more muscular than you are. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
We're fat. Either way, whatever.
Sneaky bastard.
Oh.
Yeah, so we just keep making our way back to
Boswell's, yeah.
yeah, Boswell's, yeah.
When you get further down the road from the boy, you start to hear shouting from behind you.
Is he shouting at us?
I don't know. You turn around.
Do you want to do a listen?
I keep going, but I'm going to glance over my shoulder.
You glance around. You see two goblins yelling at another goblin that's in a tree. They appear to be wearing rags, and they're all yelling at each other one at another time.
Are they near the boy?
They are.
I like pull up my horse a little bit, and I'm like,
I guess I stopped.
Oral, I can't.
How
Okay, so
many
goblins.
are yelling at each other.
There's two goblins yelling at each other on the road, and a third goblin that's in the tree yelling at them.
Okay, so I'm not going to say too much right now because there's like a bazillion sirens going on right next to me. Okay, we're good now. Anyway, so
Does
are
the boy
goblins
move at all while the shouting's going on?
No, certainly not.
are goblins like considered to be like terrible creatures?
They're pests.
Pest, right? And are they considered?
When they get organized, though, they can be
Formidable.
formidable, and they basically lay waste to like the nature of wherever they're going to. They leave trash. They're pests.
So they're like locusts. In hordes, they are a problem. Alone, they are
Right.
a nuisance.
And these three are barefoot, and they're wearing basically burlap, potato sacks.
All right, is the boy awake now? Is the boy interacting with them at all?
No.
Okay, so I turn over to Oral and we can't let this go, and turn my horse around.
We can, but
Well, I want to be able to
better
sleep
question.
tonight.
Do
dude.
the orcs have any visible weapons?
It's not orcs.
The goblins, no.
Goblins, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
One of them appears to have a big stick.
All right, so I want to trot. What's the fucking horse's name? Chestnut, back.
What's this fucking horse? I'm sorry. I just see like Wells are on the horse, like it's just trying to make the horse turn around. What's this fucking horse's name? Chestnut. Damn it, move.
Yeah, I sort of turn him back, and I want to try and I want to ride up to the goblins
when they see you coming, they begin to beat feet into the tall grass off the road.
All right, cool. And then I
The one in the tree actually falls out of the tree,
all right.
and he too goes.
I want to get off my horse and want to walk over to the boy.
Okay.
I'm going to stay on my horse, but I'm going to draw my stiletto dagger. Actually, just one of my normal daggers.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And I sort of like kneel down, like coach style, and I like look at the boy and I like inspect. I like grab him by the chin and like sort of turn his head left and right to see if he's like visibly hurt or anything like that.
Yeah, he's not visibly hurt, but what you probably feared is true, that it is in fact a like an elaborate doll fashioned out of was probably a real boy at one time.
Wait,
That's kind of grim.
yeah, that is kind of grim. I like kind of like, and then I just walk back to the horse and I was like, actually, I want to grab it and I just want to like, is there anywhere else that I can put it? Like that's just out of the way. I want to like throw it as hard as I can in like maybe one direction or something like that.
Into the tall grass, perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like yeah, so I do that. I just sort of like launch it, and so basically, Oral, you just see me like look at this boy, then pick him up and like throw him as hard as I can into like the grass or something.
I'm not saying a damn thing. What the fuck, bro?
And then I just walk back to my horse, to Chestnut, and I get on him, and I was like, it was nothing, literally. And then I turn around and I just keep walking down the road.
Uh huh.
Yep.
I'm just gonna silently just trot after. What the fuck?
Yeah. So yeah, our intention is to head back to.
We mentioned this to no one.
The remaining travel time remains relatively peaceful. The orcs encountered earlier are gone.
Okay. In the spot that they were, is there any sort of like dead horse or anything like that?
There are scraps of horse droppings, animal bones, and rotting scraps of meat.
Okay, we just keep going then.
Lovely. I need none of that.
I take a vial of the horse shit. No, I don't.
Need that
If you were
much.
playing your other character, you might actually.
Yeah, I might have. Yeah. So then we keep going down the road, I guess.
Right. So as the sun is nearly fully set, kind of a little sliver of light comes off the horizon.
Uh-huh.
The hill. So we see Byron admiring his flower garden out front of the Thistleburrows Manor.
Yep. We come back, and basically what he sees is just his horses. We're covered head to toe in just fucking filth. Well, I am at least. And we just, like, the horses just have this humongous, like, bulge coming off the back of them, wrapped in, like, just, like, terribly put together tapestries. And, yeah, we just sort of, like, trot up to him.
Yep. He says, "The hero's return. I trust all went as expected."
So, you like books, you say?
Yeah, we found a lot of books.
Oh, it was Byron. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
It was,
yeah, go ahead.
it was an uneventful outing.
Yes. You were quite quick coming back. I dare admit, I feared for your safety, but I see my worry was for naught.
Well, there's a few orcs on the road, but nothing we couldn't handle, and I kind of like just give him a quick smirk.
Mm-hmm.
Say, yes, nothing we couldn't handle.
Yep.
And didn't, mind you.
I like sort of like cockeyed over to Oral. I'm like visibly just like sort of like just smirking at, like not smirking at him, like what's the word? Just like scowling at him. Yeah.
Scoff, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, and on the way back, we found a puppet boy, which was very odd. Do you have problems with goblins around here?
Problems with goblins.
Are you asking Byron this?
Yeah.
It says, goblins, farther up north near Wyvern Falls, they have goblins. Let me
Farther
ask
down
you,
the road, near like 3 feet away, 3 miles that way, you have goblins.
Did they have red hand markings on them anywhere?
We didn't
I
get
gotta
close
lie,
enough to notice, but
Didn't notice.
yeah, they were attempting to commit highway robbery by the looks of it. The old
They attempted so
distracting.
poorly.
Yeah, it was pretty poor.
Buzzards.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to take these animals back to the stable if you don't mind.
Of course.
No problem at all.
I like
Sweet.
lift off the giant pile of books and like heft it over my shoulder.
Yeah.
I do the same.
Feel free to show yourselves in. Doors unlocked. Master Thistleburrows will want to see you as soon as possible.
Okay, we walk in. Again, no problems, I guess. I like sort of do what I think is like a nice thing and like sort of just tap my boots on the way in so that all the mud falls off into his porch, and I walk in. Is Jonathan in the waiting room by any chance?
In fact, no. It appears the night guardsman's there now. This man is about in his 50s. He doesn't have chain, doesn't have metal armor. He's got very well made leather armor, and he has a couple daggers one on each hip, and then he's got a crossbow strung across his back.
I like walk over and introduce myself. I like sort of just drop the books on the ground and I walk over.
Well, before you get there, he says, "Hold up there. Who are you?"
I am the hired help, Walzer, and this is my brother Oral. We have just investigated that leaning tower.
Yes, I heard about that. I didn't think you'd make it back.
Why wouldn't we make it back?
He says, "I'm not sure. Rookies."
Yeah, I like look visibly down at me, and I'm just like, I assure you, sir, we are highly trained professionals. And I give a wink to Oral again.
I'm just gonna kind of like sit there begrudgingly holding this heavy sack of stupid books.
I like walk over and I was like, I am, as I said, Walzer. What is your name, sir? I like hold out my hand. It's like covered in filth and stuff, and I like go to shake his hand.
All right, he leaves you hanging, and he says, "Chuck, what's in the bag?"
Books, obviously.
Books, and he walks over to the books and starts kicking them and opening them.
Hey, be careful. They are quite old.
He says, "Don't tell me how to do my job."
Well, I'm telling you not to.
Then don't interfere with us doing ours.
What he said.
He says, "What are you here for anyway?"
We've already explained this to you.
Your master hired us to procure these.
So I suppose you want
to go fetch him.
I suppose you want to talk to Boswell then.
Oh yes.
He says, "Leave these here," and he's gonna, take you over he'll go over to the door and open it.
I'm gonna take the books with me.
I'm also going to take the books with me.
All right. He lets you go in with the books, but he kind of slides over with his foot a rock that's there to prop the door open, and he'll leave it open.
Cool. So yeah, is this the same office, big hall room that was previous we walked in? Okay. And I assume Boswell's in the room?
In fact, when you enter, yes, the house is pretty much as you left it. So you see Boswell sitting in the same chair, snoring softly with a book in his lap. His spectacles are on just the tip of his nose, and he's got this book open on his lap where a puddle of drool now exists.
All right, I want to drop the books on the floor heavily, just like, just sort of not really caring nor seeing him, I guess, for the most part. So, yeah.
He says, "What?
He's small and easy to miss.
Who's there?"
It is Walzer and Oral, Mr. Thistleburrows. We have procured you a fine collection of additions to your wonderful library here.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Good. Yes, good show. Tell me about it once over some wine, perhaps.
I'm quite thirsty and wet. Maybe we can. Oh God, I don't know. I don't have any change of clothes, so maybe I don't care. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't care. Yeah.
He just doesn't care.
I just don't. Well, if he doesn't have any other clothes, he wouldn't care that much if they got wet and dirty, I guess. So. It's like, yeah, so absolutely, I'm thirsty, dying of thirst.
Okay, so he pulls open the drawer to the table next to him and pulls out a bell and rings it loudly. And a few moments pass. Byron comes into the room. Says, "Yeah, yes, Byron, some wine, please, if you would, for my hero's return." And Byron says, "Right away, sir." And he